Deepwoken, in my opinion, is a pretty fun game. At least I've been having fun with it. I know some people are complaining about a lack of content, and that's a different topic for a different day. But I just wanted to talk about a few things that I felt was kind of bugging me about the game. Uh, I don't mean to actually hurt the game or to diss the game or really to be hating on the game. I just wanted to talk about things that I personally don't really agree with. If you like the video, like and subscribe like usual, and on to the video. Legendary talents in Deepwoken, or some rare talents, often feel kind of weird in terms of what they do. Some of them are pretty cool, like Vanishing Follow-Up or Ghost really change the tides of the game and can add a unique quirk or effect in the middle of the fight. And then you have shitty ass talents that shouldn't even exist, like Conditioned Runner, that just enables people to run around your Chime of Conflict arena for 15 minutes, giving your half a campfire's worth of regen, and just overall being annoying. It just feels like there's some like not very balanced talents in the game, or there's no one really checking to see whether or not this is healthy for the game or not. And I'm here because I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to let it be known about some talents. I'm only going to name three because I'm not about to go and try and find every single talent that's somewhat bad or somewhat unfair because there's a lot of them. And then there's so after Vanishing Follow Up, I wanted to also talk about Mirage Clone. People kind of understand Mirage Clone to be kind of a bad talent because you simply get a free set on fire from simply just dodging an attack. And because if you put like 60 into your agility, you can do that twice in a row. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's possible to kill something simply just by dodging all of its attacks and letting your Mirage Close burn it to death. You know, talents like these, I feel like really don't get past the balance check. Like the whole kind of argument is that they're legendary talents. They're supposed to be powerful, and I agree, but I don't agree with the whole uncounterable aspect. Also, legendary talents, in my opinion, are just way too rare. You're lucky to get four in a run at max luck, and it just, you know, you could get three legendaries. You know, you get, let's say, Vanishing Follow Up, Showstopper, and Mirage Clone. Okay, those are good talents, but what? Just because you get those three talents doesn't mean they're the actual ones you want. You know, what if you're going a Gale builds and you get Vanishing Follow Up, Ghost, and Adept, but you don't get a World Without Song? It just feels that for how rare they are, a lot of them just either seem bad or undesirable, I guess is a better word to say, because they all kind of have something in a build. You can even things like ever changing Aegis or dazing finisher can be put in a build and have some sort of use. But it seems like if you're gonna make talents like these, at least make them so that when you meet the conditions, you have a pretty good shot at getting them. Because right now in Deepwoken, it feels like legendary talents are what makes builds sometimes. And again, going a galebreath and not getting World Without Song is like going a flamecharm build and not getting Mirage Clone, or going a frostdraw build and not getting Frozone with your Ice Skate. It ruins the build. You're kind of forced to wipe because your build is trash, just objectively. You're missing the key piece, your ace card, your trump card. It doesn't matter. It's just bad. You could have eight other legendary talents, but sometimes one talent really makes it. So why does it have to be on the luck-based system? Why don't we just come together and make it a quest? You go to this masterful mantra trainer or whatever, and you beat him in a fight, and he gets you your legendary talent. This probably wouldn't really matter for things like thundercall, who have grand skewer, which people burn, but it would work really well for like gale breath or flamecharm or frostdraw or everything but thunder. Also, give Shadow a legendary talent. There's no reason why it doesn't need to have one. It would be really cool if it did. Races in Deepwoken are just simply annoying, and right as you boot up the game, seeing that you got a bad race can already take away from the experience. You have there's races out here like Adret and Grimoire. Grimoire has a compass. Adret actually gives you autodidacts, which has been proven to hurt you because you need experience to level up. And if you don't, you can't just sit there and lift your dumbbell and get 300 strength or whatever. And then, because eventually you'll say, I need to put my training in practice, or whatever the fucking message says. And then Adric just kind of makes you grind and get that message, and then you just feel like you're grinding for the sake of nothing. And who needs a compass in Deepwoken? And then you have things like Vesperian, which give you a 5% damage reduction, which can change the impact of a game. Vesperian, not only is it a one of the rarer races, it's 6.1 according to the wiki. These change, by the way, depending on how many times you rolled or what race you are. But Vesperian is also the only one right now that has an impact in PvP, whereas all the other ones don't really have an impact on PvP. You can make an argument for Capra, but Capra can't use things on itself, so in a 1v1, his race does nothing. What I'm trying to say is, Vesperian and a lot of other races need tweaks to be better. I get races aren't supposed to really be like a big thing, and they're kind of just supposed to be a small little bonus, but don't really call it a small little bonus when things like Vesperian gives you 2 extra hits in combat, and Etrian gives you, what does Etrian give? Poison resistance. And less damage in Acid Rain. Acid Rain is in one part of the map, and I don't even know what poison is. I've never seen anyone get poisoned, as far as I'm aware of. Also, there's an argument that says that, oh, the rarer your race is, the better it is, and that's in a lot of games. It's especially in like anime games, like Blox Fruits in a One Piece game. Not in a One Piece game, Grand Peace Online. But the thing is, one of the rarest races in the game, I'm not going to try and pronounce that, is literally just insanity resistance. And the problem I have with that is it has a 2% race roll for one of the worst. I mean, not one of the worst because of how bad some of these really are, but it's not that practical, I guess. It's good for people who do not want to put any into willpower because, let's be honest, that stat is trash and needs to be reworked. But at the same time, why would you want that, which is rarer than Vesperian, over Vesperian, and be able to take game-changing hits? It just feels pointless. The races are just annoying, and I hate them. Also, Capra Supremacy. Chime of Conflict just feels annoying because it gatekeeps like noobs with the skull system. I would talk about luck as a whole, but the thing is, they've already been confirmed that they were going to remove luck and replace it, and it's probably going to be removed in the Layer 2 update, so there's no real point. But Chime of Conflict, I really hope it gets changed, because what I want to see changed about Chime of Conflict is the skull system. Right now, if you win a match, you get a skull, and if you lose a match, you lose a skull. But the problem is, since it gives luck, all of the players who want luck are going to go into the Chime of Conflicts, because that's where they get luck without having to put their head on the line for corrupted monsters, and, Ferryman's kind of hard to grind at power level 18. The point is, Skull systems, a bad player will go into Chime of Conflict, lose 3 games in a row, wipe in the depths, and never go back to Chime again. And the people who put like 5,000 hours on Rogue and 1,000 hours on Deepwoken will go with the stiletto, go in rags, and grind their way to power level 60. It just feels like newer players can't get better at the game because Chime of Conflict is gatekeeping them outside of 1v1s. And what that causes, I mean, newer players still need their luck. I'm one of the few people who decided to go Corrupted Monster route. But if you go ask the questions Discord, you'll end up getting, when you ask them, they'll be like, okay, go to the overworld and gank players. And let's be honest, no one finds it fun. It's not silly, it's not okay. You're just an asshole. You're worse than the Twitter and the League of Legends community combined if you jump me while I'm trying to sell things at the Antiquarian. You're just a bad person, and I don't like you. Because let's be honest, who actually gets jumped at the Antiquarian and says, wow, I could have been better? No, it's just undesirable. It's unenjoyable. And all because you wanted 4% luck, which I may and or may not have, and you don't even know what level I am. Why? Why? Bells and Deepwoken just feel way too grindy, and they feel like grinding for the sake of grinding. I wouldn't mind grinding for hours if I felt like I was getting rewarded fairly for what I was grinded for. But if you kill 8 Primadons, or 15 Squibbos, or 50 Enforcers, or 50 Chimes, Are bells really worth it? Because they don't feel like it. Blood Scourge, Shard Bow, those are kind of worth it because they have some kind of effects. But when you get those three bells, sometimes you get Resurrection, Jar of Souls, and Wind Up. Doesn't that kind of make you feel like a little shitty? Just putting all that effort in and then get trash? And it's so anticlimactic too, because you do so much for so little. And I feel like there's a lot of missed potential, because what if there was like a special dungeon or a special boss you could beat for the bell? No, you just go in the depths after completing 6 hours worth of grinding on a random boss, and you jump off a cliff, and you either get your bell or a level 1 comes and grips you. It doesn't feel like what you're putting in is worth what you get. And it feels like bells could have a lot more impact, and they just choose not to for the sake of balance, even though you can't even use bells in Chime of Conflict, so what's the point? Anyways, that's all I kind of wanted to talk about. I hope y'all enjoy the video. If you have anything else you want to talk about or want to refute one of my claims, leave a comment. I'll make sure to ignore it. Anyways, peace.